Don't listen to the news while you do your yoga. That's never a pair up that you should ever do. I sometimes have listened to the news while I'm doing my strength training, and I've discovered it's not even very fun. So I just listen to music. Okay, so come down onto your mat, sit on your butt, legs out in front of you with a nice bit of bend in the knees and plenty of space for the belly and the chest. And then just kind of snuggle everything in. Let your head rest down. Let your hands just rest wherever feels the most comfortable. And then once you've got your way there, just take a second to let your body find a little softness. Soften the back of your neck. Soften the space between your eyes. As you start to find that softer sense of settling in, see if you can just kind of notice and feel the texture of your mat or whatever is underneath your feet. So just notice the texture underneath your feet. Maybe notice the spaciousness behind your legs. Notice the difference between the spaciousness behind your legs and the solidness of the floor underneath your butt. And then just for a moment here, see if you can just listen into the sounds around you. Notice the sounds of the room that you're working in. In this position, it might be easy to notice the sound of your breath. And then maybe you can reach your listening out just a little further beyond the room that you're working in. So maybe you'll notice the sounds of your house or the world outside of you. And then before we move away from this place of stillness, just set an intention here to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. With that intention set, see if you can arrange it so that your hands are touching the tops of your feet. Nothing particular or prescribed, but just see if you can let your hands rest on the tops of your feet. And then if you can get your hands to rest on tops of your feet, we're just going to lift the toes up away from the floor. So just the toes, the balls of the feet are going to stay on the ground, and then lower your toes back down. Lift your toes up away from the floor. Lower your toes back down. Do that one more time if it's available. Lift your toes. Lower your toes, and now we're going to go toes and the balls of the feet. So you're going to lift the toes and the balls of the feet. You might rock back into your sit bones just a little bit. Release the balls of the feet and the toes back down. Lift your toes, lift the balls of your feet, and then lower them back down. Nice. Do that one more time. Lift your toes, lift the balls of your feet, and then lower them back down. Now we're going to walk our hands up just a little bit so we can catch our knees, and then lift your heart away from your thighs. Step your feet in just a little bit closer, so we want to be able to lift our heels. It might not be a big range of motion. Don't worry about that. Press into the balls of the feet and the toes. Lift your heels. Lower your heels back down. Lift your heels up away from the floor, and then lower them back down. Do that one more time. Lift your heels away from the floor, and then lower them back down. Nice. And then arrange your legs so it feels like a good position to be in, so you can move right into a cat-cow. Inhale as you lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale and lift. Exhale to round. Take about 3 more cycles of breath and just move with your breath's rhythm. Move at a pace and a depth that feels good to you. Nice. And then once you've completed your cycles of breath, as you round back just a little bit, walk yourself back so elbows and forearms are going to come down onto the ground, and then you're going to step your feet in just a little bit closer so that we can take a little kick of that. So just pick up your right leg and you're just going to bend, straighten the leg. Doesn't need to be anything in particular. We just want to bring some movement into the knee joint. So you're going to bend and straighten the leg just enough so you feel a little bit of movement. Notice how your knees are feeling this morning. Wonderful. One more little kick of that leg, and then we're going to switch right over to the other side. Pick up the left leg, bend and straighten the leg. Awesome. One more bend and straighten of that leg, and then left foot's going to step down. Now we're going to drop the right knee out to the side. So we're going to externally rotate from the thigh bone and then pull it right back in. Drop the right knee out and pull it back in. One more time on the right side. Drop the knee out, pull it back in, switch over to the other side. Left knee drops out and bring it back in. Left knee drops out and bring it back in. One more time there. Left knee drops out, bring it back in. Now prop yourself all the way back up, soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. So you find your cobbler's pose, catch hold of your toes, and now we're going to take it into a little forward fold. So lean your heart forward just a little bit, and then bring yourself back up with control. Lean yourself forward just a little bit, bring yourself right back up. Do that one more time. Lean yourself forward just a little bit, bring yourself back up. Grab the sides of your thighs, help your knees come together, slide your legs out nice and long, but keep a nice big bend in the knees. Take a nice big breath, reach up. We're going to do a little lymphatic movement. So as you reach up, reach towards the ends of your legs, best handhold you can find. Press gently into the sides of your legs, and then press as you drag your hands up. Drag your hands up the side of the body, up your armpits, the back of your neck, reach up. And then as you exhale, reach towards your feet, press into your hands, slide up the sides of the legs, up the side of the body, up the back of your neck, reach your arms up. Do that one more time. Exhale, reach forward, press into your hands, slide up the sides of the body, up the back of the neck, reach up. Nice. And then take a fold and then just catch hold of whatever feels good. So maybe your toes, maybe your shins, maybe the floor. That's just whatever feels the most comfortable. Take 3 nice deep breaths here. Wonderful. And then from here, we're going to find our way up into an easy seat. So come up to a seated position, crisscross your legs in a way that feels right to you. Once you've got your crisscross seat, right hand touches down, left hand reaches up. Take a nice, generous side bend. Pull that top thumb back, look up towards the ceiling. Take 2 more breaths here. Nice. And then when you're ready, lift up. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up. Pull that top thumb back, maybe look up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. Lift up, and we're going to take it right into a seated twist. Left hand's going to find the right knee, right hand behind you. Awesome. Now we're going to soften our rotation, but stay rotated to the right. So soften just a little bit so your heart is pointed towards your knee. And then take 3 cat-cows here. Lift your chest, lift your chin, arch your back, round your back, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale and lift your chest. Exhale, round your back. One more here. Inhale, lift your chest, round your back, and then find a neutral spine as you rotate over to the other side. So right hand's going to find the left knee, left hand comes behind you. Wonderful. And then soften your rotation. So heart is pointing towards your knee. Once you've got your way there, inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, round your back. Inhale to lift. Exhale to round. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Find a neutral spine, unwind, and now we're going to float our way forward into a tabletop position. So flip yourself up onto all fours. Get there any way that works right for you. And then once you're there, just take a second to kind of tune in. Notice your knees, notice your wrists. If you need to double pad your mat or anything so your knees feel happy, take a second to do it. And then once you're there, just take a couple of bops of your hips. Just drop your hips a little side to side. Awesome. One more little bop of the hips side to side. And then as you come back to center, you're going to pick up your right knee. Right knee's going to hover like an inch or so away from the floor. Nothing extreme. We want to keep our hips fairly level best we can. And now you're just going to take 3 pumps of that knee toward your elbow. So you're going to pull the right knee toward your elbow, feel that little squeeze or engagement in the hip flexor muscles, and then bring it back. Pull the knee in, feel that little gentle squeeze, and then release it back. And then just do that one more time. Pull the knee in just a little bit. Beautiful. Bring it back, set it down, and now we're going to pick up the left knee. Left knee's going to hover just a little bit. No big shift in the hips if we can find it. Pull that left knee towards the left elbow, get a little squeeze, bring it back. Pull that knee towards the elbow, give a little squeeze, and bring it back. Do that one more time. Pull the knee towards the elbow, give a little squeeze, bring it back, set that leg down. Right leg is going to slide back, toes curled under, and take a couple of gentle rocks forward and back. Nice. Now, the next time your shoulders come in line with your wrist, stay there. Keep that leg out nice and long. We're going to pick up the toe and hover. And now we're going to hop that toe corner to corner. So you're going to hop it to the right corner of your mat and hop it over to the left corner of your mat. Upper body is going to stay as stable as it can. So we're going to engage the abdominal muscles just a little bit. Shoulders are going to stay nice and broad. Beautiful. Take one more hop of that toe side to side. And then as you come back to more central position, slide that leg in, and we're going to switch right to the other side. Left leg is going to slide back, toes curled under, take a few rocks forward and back. Nice. And then the next time your shoulders come in line with your wrist, stay there, pick that toe up, let it hover, and then hop it across corner to corner, keeping the upper body as stable as you can. Beautiful. One more hop of that toe side to side and then bring it back in. Find your tabletop again. And now we're going to move up into the scapula. So into that shoulder blade area. Just the chest is going to drop down, a little squeeze in the shoulder blades, and then push the floor away. Get a little bit of a roundness or broadness in the shoulders. Drop the chest down and squeeze. Push the floor away and round. Drop the chest and squeeze. Push the floor away and round. Find a neutral position with the shoulders and now move into a pelvic tilt. So rather than cat-cow, it's just a tiny tilt of the pelvis. So it's not going to be as big of a movement, but see if you can find those low belly muscles doing the work here. So rather than your glutes kicking on and making that big, generous movement, make it small and see if you can find a little action in the abdomen. Wonderful. One more little pelvic tilt, and then find neutral position with the pelvis right into puppy pose. Walk your hands towards the top end of your mat. Let your chest and your forehead melt down. Once you're there, take 3 nice big breaths. When you feel ready, slowly, gently, mindfully walk your hands back up and in. We're going to push our weight into the left knee, left hand just a little bit. So we're going to tilt our weight over to the left side just a little bit so we can pick the right leg up. Now we're going to pick that right leg up. Nice big step forward and then step it right back. So we're going to swing that leg around. Nice big leverage of that leg. Step it forward and then step it back. Step the leg forward. Step it back, and now we're going to step it forward and stay there. So step that leg forward into that nice 90-90 lunge, and then you creep that foot around so it feels like it's in a good position. Once you've got that leg in a good position, lift yourself on up, hands to the hips, and now we're going to work into a little knee mobility, hip mobility, so you stay safe in your knees. You only go as far as feels good to you. Knee is going to go past the toes, and then push yourself back up with control. Knee goes past the toes or just as far as it feels right to you. If you've got anything going on in your knees, you be mindful, pay attention to make sure it feels safe. Knee goes past the toes, pull yourself back up, and now we're going to toe heel the foot out about 45 degrees. So find the side edge of your mat, bend and bring it out, pull it back in with control. Knee goes past the toes, pull it back in with control. Do that one more time. Knee goes past the toes, pull it back in with control. Now we're going to toe heel it out even further. So walk it out just as wide as your leg goes from here. That will look different. We all have different external rotation. Once you're at your edge, knee goes past the toes, bring it back in. Nice. Knee goes past the toes, bring it back in. One more time. Knee goes past the toes, bring it back in. And now we're going to go into this nice supported side angle. So right elbow is going to find the knee, left hand's going to reach up, take a nice big side bend. Think about pulling that top thumb back. Bottom ribs are pulling forward just slightly. Look up towards the ceiling. Take a nice big breath. Slow breath out. And then when you're ready, lift up with control. Toe heel that foot all the way back to the front of your mat. One time, knee is going to go past the toes. And then our hands are going to float down, find the ground, and then take it into sort of a half split situation. So we're just going to rock forward and back just a little bit. Bring a little length into the back of the leg. Let the toes peel up away from the floor as you rock back. Nice. And then once you feel like you've created just a little bit of length in the back of that leg, we're just going to slide that leg back, find your tabletop position, bop your hips a little side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to shift our weight onto the right side. So we're going to be able to pick that left leg up, step it forward and wide, step it back, step the foot forward and wide, step it back. One more time, step it forward and wide, step it back. And then this time we're going to step it forward, Rearrange that foot so you're in that nice 90-90 lunge. Once you're there, lift yourself on up, hands to the hips, and now we're gonna drive that knee forward. Knee goes past the toes, bring it back with control. Nice. Knee goes past the toes, bring it back with control. One more time, knee goes past the toes, bring it back with control, toe heel it out to that 45-degree angle. Once you're there, knee goes past the toes, bring it back with control. Beautiful. Knee goes past the toes, bring it back with control. One more time here. Bring it back, and now you're gonna toe heel that foot out as wide as your leg likes to go. Once you're there, knee goes past the toes. Beautiful, bring it back in with control. Knee goes past the toes, bring it back in. One more time. Bring it back in, and now we're gonna take it into that supported side angle. So left elbow to the knee, right hand reaches up. Think about pulling bottom ribs forward, pull that top hand up, look up towards the ceiling, take a nice big breath. Lift up with control. We're gonna walk that foot back around to the front end of the mat. One time at the front end, we're gonna bring that knee past the toes, bring it back up, and then float your hands down so that you're framing that front foot, and then take those little modified half splits. So we're gonna rock forward and back just to create a little length in the back of the front leg. Beautiful, and then the next time your knee bends forward, just slide that leg to the back end of your mat, find your tabletop position, bop your hips a little side to side. Right hand's gonna reach up nice and high. We're gonna create a little space, and then we're gonna thread that hand through and underneath. So right ear, right shoulder to the ground. From here, if it feels good, left hand will either reach to the top end of your mat, reach up to the sky, or reach behind you for a little half bind. That's just whatever feels the best to you, where you find the most sensation. I personally like the front end of my mat, but I know some people who have more mobility in their shoulders might prefer that little half bind. Take one more breath. And then wherever your left hand is, bring it back in so it's framing around your face. Gently push into that hand, lift yourself back up to your tabletop position, and then right away we're taking it to the other side. Left hand's gonna reach up nice and high. Make some space, thread that hand through and underneath. Left ear, left shoulder to the ground. Once you're there, you play around with that right hand and you place it wherever you get the most sensation. Take one more breath. And then wherever that right hand is, bring it in, frame your face, push gently into that hand, lift yourself back up to tabletop position, big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat, come back to extended child's pose. Bring your butt back to your heels, make a little space, and then soften everything down. We're gonna bring prayer hands behind the head. So arrange your arms in a way that works right for you. Once you're there, prayer hands together, hands to the back of the head. Take one more breath. Release the prayer hands from behind your head, and then we're gonna walk our arms over to the left. So over and off the left side of your mat. Stack your right hand on top of your left hand. Drop your elbows down, let your forehead sink down. Take a nice big breath. When you're ready, walk through center, take it over and off the other side. Off the right side of your mat, left hand stacks on top of the right. Let your elbows sink down, let your forehead sink down, and take a nice big breath. Nice, and then when you're ready, walk back to center. Once you're back to center, lift your butt up away from your heels, walk your knees back in so we find that tabletop position one last time. Now we're gonna just get those glutes activated before we flip over onto the other side. So take it into a tiger pose. Lift that right leg up, nice 90-degree bend, a nice bit of energy in that right foot. And now we're gonna push the foot up towards the ceiling. Feel your glutes kick on just a little bit, and then release it just a little bit. Push your foot up towards the ceiling, and then release. This time as you push your foot up, lift your chest, lift your gaze so the whole back chain of the body kicks on. Nice, and then when you're ready, release that leg down, switch right to the other side. Left leg is gonna pick up. Find that nice 90-degree bend, a little flex in the foot. Push your foot up towards the ceiling, and then release it a little bit. Push your foot up towards the ceiling, Release it this a little bit. Now this time, push the foot up, lift the heart, feel the whole back chain of your body kick on. Nice, and then when you're ready, release that foot with control. We're gonna spin the legs around so you're sitting back on your butt. So come back around in any way that works good for you, but now we're gonna keep the legs as long and as straight as feels right to you. If you have super tight hamstrings or you feel like you find yourself rounding a little bit to get that forward fold, we're gonna walk the heels in just a little bit closer, a little bit more intentional bend in the knees. But you find that straightness of the legs that feels right to you. Now we're gonna think up and over. Pull the belly up and over. Keep that nice long lifted spine. Right when you feel those hamstring muscles kick on, that's your edge. Stop there for a moment, float your hands down, but keep that nice long and lifted spine, reaching energy out through the crown of your head. Beautiful, take one more breath. Walk yourself back up with control, scoot your butt forward, curl your tailbone under, roll your way down to the ground. Once you've found your way down to the ground, step your feet in a little bit closer so they're about hip width distance apart. We're gonna move right into a figure four from here. So right leg is gonna come across the left, right hand to the inner thigh, gently push the inner thigh open, take one big breath. Release your hand from the inner thigh, pick your left leg up, thread your hands through, grab the back of your thigh or the top of your shin, and then keep that right foot fairly flexed so we keep a little activity or energy in that right leg, and then draw the legs in just to a point where you feel a little sensation, maybe down in your glute or maybe deep into the side of your hip. Keep that tight position or the position that feels the most manageable to you, and then take 3 kicks of your left leg. Lovely. And then hold your legs in just a little bit tighter. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, release your foot down, but we're going to keep that figure four shape. We're going to take it into a figure four twist. So right foot's going to drop over to the left. Just let your arms open nice and wide. Let the foot touch all the way down to the ground. Take one big breath. With control, bring the legs back to center. Keep that figure four shape, but now we're going to drop the knees over to the right. So it's going to be a little bit of a knee down twist. You only go as far as feels safe and comfortable to your left knee and your hip. Take a nice big breath. Wonderful. And then with control, bring it back to center. Step your right leg off the left. Left leg is going to step across the right. Find your figure four. Left hand to the inner thigh. Gently push the inner thigh open. Beautiful. And then release that hand. Lift the right leg up. Thread your hands through. Grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin. Pull it into your comfort level. Keep that depth of position, but then add 3 kicks of the right leg. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release your right foot down to the ground. Keep that figure four shape. We're going to drop that left foot over to the right. So take it into that figure four twist, over and across the body. Once you're there, take a nice big breath. With control, bring the legs back to center. Keep that figure four shape, but now we're going to drop the knees over to the left. This is where you go only as far as feels safe and comfortable to your knee and your hip. Nice. And then when you're ready, bring it back to center. Step the left leg off the right. We're going to pull the right knee into the chest. Left leg is going to go nice and long. Hug that knee in, and then we're going to put a little tension on. So we're going to make a nice little basket weave so we've got a good firm handhold. Push your knee into your hands. Hands are going to resist. Hold that resistance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that resistance. Take it right into supine twist. So right knee over and across the body to the left. Right arm is going to open out nice and wide. Head turns to the right. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And now we're going to take 3 big circles with the right arm. So right arm is going to circle around. You might feel your shoulder try to lift away from the floor. Just let it move in a natural way. 3 big circles in one direction. And then when you're ready, 3 big circles go the other way. Beautiful. And then once you've completed those 3 circles, right arm opens out nice and wide. Turn your head to the right. Take one more breath. Nice. And then pull the right knee into your chest, bring the left knee into me, both knees into the chest, get your firm handhold, push your knees into your hands. Hands are going to create that resistance. Hold that resistance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that position. Hold on to your left knee. Let your right leg go nice and long. Once you're there, get your nice firm handhold on that left knee and then push your left knee into your hand. Hands are going to resist. Hold that active position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that position right into supine twist. Left knee comes over and across the body. Left arm opens out nice and wide. Maybe turn your head to the left. Beautiful. Now 3 big arm circles with that left hand. Circle around in one direction. Just let your shoulder and maybe your ribs move with you in a way that feels natural. Once you've completed those 3 circles in that direction, switch directions and go the other way. Nice. And then once you've completed that last circle, let your arm open out nice and wide. Turn your head to the left. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, pull the left knee into your chest, bring the right knee into me. We're going to move right into happy baby. So knees are going to come out nice and wide. You might choose to stay here in this more modified shape if that feels like a nice place to be. Or if it feels great, you want to float the feet up, grab the blade edges of your feet or the big toes or the backs of the thighs. That's just whatever handhold works the best for you. Once you've got your handhold, take your knees nice and wide. Think about letting your knees sink towards the ground. Let your shoulders get heavy. Let your tailbone get heavy. And then once you feel like you've got a position that feels good, you maybe can get a little playful here, a little movement, a little rocking side to side, a little movement of the legs, a little movement of the feet. Beautiful. And then when you feel ready, we're going to release it into legs up the wall. So both feet are going to float up towards the ceiling. Let your arms fall out at your sides. Let your knees be fairly soft, feet fairly soft, and then just give a second to let your back get soft and heavy. Arms soft and heavy. And then in this position here, if it feels comfortable to do so, close your eyes down. Notice the spaciousness around your legs. Notice the solidness of the floor underneath your hips and your back. If you can keep your eyes closed for just a few more moments, just notice the sounds around you. Eyes opened or closed, totally up to you. We're going to give the right leg a good shake. So left leg is going to stay nice and still. Right leg is going to get a good solid shake. So shaking is good for our lymphatic system. It's good for our nervous system. It's good for the blood flow, especially in this position here in legs up the wall. So give your legs as much of a shake as feels right to you. Notice that little bit of vibration in your skin, your fatty tissue. Let your muscles jiggle a little bit. And then when you're ready, let the right leg come to stillness and then give the left leg a really good shake. Nice. One more good shake of that left leg and then float both feet down to the ground. Right hand is going to extend up towards the ceiling. And then just like you're shaking water off your hand, give your right hand a really nice good shake. Awesome. And then when you're ready, let that right hand float down. Left hand reaches up and give your left hand a really good shake. Nice. And then when you're ready, float that left hand down, pause everything for a moment and just notice your body and then ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to come to constructive rest? Really easy to come from it from this position. Just let the knees drop in towards each other or any other position of the body that feels good. Maybe you like a little reclined cobbler's pose. Maybe you like that more traditional shape, or perhaps it feels good to roll to one side or flip over onto your belly. Once you feel like you found a position that works good for you, give your body a few moments to just kind of wiggle into place. Make sure your shoulders are arranged nicely, your clothes are in a happy position, your head, your hair, your feet, and your hands. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel called to do so, gently start to reawaken. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your hands, move your feet, move your wrists, move your ankles. If you are in reclined cobbler's pose or in constructive rest, maybe take a moment to just walk your feet long to the end of your mat and then take it into a big good morning stretch. Stretch your arms up and overhead, reach through your fingers, reach through your toes, and really, really reach like you're trying to pull the ribs up towards the top end of your mat. Let there be a little expansiveness in the abdomen. Take a nice big breath in. Nice slow breath out. And then slowly and mindfully in your own way, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Sukhasana, if that's available, but preferably just anything that allows you to have access to a little handhold at the side of your ribs. So once you found your way up, just take a second to rearrange, to wiggle up nice and tall. And then we're gonna take same hand, same side of the ribs. So we're just gonna place a nice wide handhold on the sides of the ribs, and then like you're pushing it a little bit and you're just going to try to move all that tissue around the ribs. So you're going to feel your muscles, your skin, that connective tissue just kind of move around. Ribs are staying stationary, all the stuff on the outside moves, and then draw some circles, go the other way. Nice. And then we're going to brush the hand down the side of the body. So with a little bit of vigor, brush like you're brushing water off the side of your body. And then switch right over to the other side. So hand's gonna reach up, find the sides of the ribs, whatever handhold works good for you. Push in just a little bit, circle around in one direction, let the skin, the tissue move with you, and then circle the other way. Awesome. And then when you're ready, 3 vigorous brushes down the side of the body. Nice. And then stack both hands on top of your heart. Close your eyes down for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out, soften your shoulders. Now, for some of us, it's just going to be a slight closing of the mouth. We're going to practice Sitali, which is our cooling breath. It's a yoga cooling breath. If you can make the little taco tongue or a little U shape with your tongue, you're going to curl your tongue up. If you can't make that taco tongue, and that's just genetics, some of us can't curl the tongue. So if you can't curl the tongue, you're just going to put your tongue right between that little small O shape of the mouth. So either curl your tongue if you can curl your tongue, or tongue between the space of your mouth. And then you're going to breathe in and out through the curl of your tongue or through that little space of your O. So curl up your tongue, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. One more time, breathe in and out. Relax your tongue, close your eyes down, bow your head to your heart. You might notice a sense of coolness on your tongue. Soften your shoulders, soften your jaw. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. Take one more generous breath, and as you exhale, think about softening your shoulders and letting go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you through the rest of your day. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Saturday. You guys are awesome.